Here we have AP calculus AP problem. Okay, let's go with the information. The following table lists the values of function f and g of their derivatives f prime and g prime for the x values 0 and 3. Okay, here we have table of values for f of x and g of x, and the first derivative of f of x and the first derivative of g of x, and for the two values of x equals to 0 and x equals to 3. Let function capital f be defined as f of x equals to lowercase f of lowercase g of x. This is a composition of two functions, lowercase f and lowercase g, and we have to find the value of capital F prime of 3. That is, we have to find the first derivative of this capital F, and then we have to plug in x equals to 3. Then we have to evaluate this. Okay, now first let's find the derivative of this capital F of x. For that, let me write this function as it is. That is, capital F of x equals to lowercase f of g of x. Okay, here we have a composition of two functions. Okay, now let me find derivative on both sides. That is, when I find derivative of this one, then I'm getting capital F prime of x. Okay, here when I find derivative of the composition of two functions, what I have to do is first I have to find the derivative of the first function, that is lowercase f. Then I'm getting f prime of g of x. Now, by chain rule, I have to do derivative. I have to find derivative for the function that we have inside the parenthesis over here. When I find derivative of this g of x, it will be g prime of x. So I have completed derivative for this stuff using chain rule. Okay, now what we can do is, like, we can plug in 3 for x over here, because our aim is to find f prime of 3. We got f prime of x. Okay, now let me plug in 3 for x over here. On the right side also, wherever I find x, I have to plug in 3. So then I'm getting g of 3 times g prime of 3. Okay, so f prime of 3 equals to lowercase f prime of, what is the value of g of 3? G of 3 is nothing but the value of the function g at x equals to 3. So like here we have g of x. When x equals to 3, the value of the function g of x is 0. So that is, the value of g of 3 is 0. We can plug in 0 for g of 3 times g prime of 3. So here we have g prime of x, and we have to get the value of g prime of x when x equals to 3, because we have 3 over here. So when x equals to 3, the value of g prime of x is just 1. So therefore, g prime of 3 is just 1. Okay, now we have to get the value of f prime of 0. So here we have f prime of x. F prime of 0 means we have to find the value of this f prime of x when x equals to 0. So x equals to 0 over here. When x equals to 0, the value of f prime of x is just 2. So we can plug in 2 for f prime of 0 here. Let me do it. So 2 times 1. So here f prime of 3. So finally, f prime of 3 equals to 2 times 1 is 2. Therefore, the value of f prime of 3 is just 2.